Good evening, and welcome to Think About It Thursday. My name is Henry Dotson, founder and and your person for tonight and every night from Our Journeys of Faith Life Coaching. Here we are in December. Can you believe it? We've just got 11 more shopping days before Christmas. Hope you've got most of those things under control. I don't do the shopping mostly in our family. Let you in on a secret. It's Vanessa that does the shopping. So I have got a few things to get, but not much. So I hope that we find you this evening in the holiday spirit and remembering the reason for the season. It's not for getting gifts, but it's for the gift that was given to us. So we're going to continue on with our um, cancer journey of faith, our spiritual journey of faith on for those who have cancer, for Christian cancer patients, their caregivers, and supporters. And we've been traveling along this road for a little while now. We've passed the point of providential beginnings, which was the point where everything leading up to the diagnosis and before actually starting any type of treatment or selecting an oncologist or a hospital or any of that, we've traveled through there, and now we're on the road of trials. And in the past, we've talked about when you get on that road of trials that you had to find your tribe, and your tribe included that spiritual support network that you're going to need. It talks about the caregiver that you're going to need. It also includes your healthcare team, your doctors that are going to be helping you along this journey. And then we talked about sharing that news with others, and that it's your story to tell, it's no one else's. And you get to decide when, where, and how much of your story you tell to each and every person. Everyone doesn't need to know everything, and some people don't need to know anything. So it's up to you as to who you want to be informed of your cancer journey. And you only want people along that are going to help you, not those who are going to be an additional burden that you'll have to carry. So it's up to you to decide who that will be. And then we talked about being on this road of trials. We talked about the thorns and the tribulations that you're going to be going through. And for the past couple of weeks, we went into that into some detail. And so now you're still on this road of trials, but at this point, we think it's going to take a little bit of a turn for the positive, if you will, because it's not always just a road of trials and tribulations. There are some things that happen along the way that God has put there for as your favor and as a blessing to you. And that's where we are tonight. So on that road of trials, the Think About It Thursday question is, think about situations that have occurred during your cancer journey. Did you speak words? Did someone speak words that ministered to you? Did you speak words that ministered to them? So we want you to think about that as you've gone through this journey. And yes, it's difficult. Yes, you've had some painful moments. Yes, you've had some moments of suffering and sorrow. Yes, you've had these things, but also along the way, have you had moments that you can look back on fondly? And those being those types of moments when someone has spoken a word of encouragement or inspiration to you, or you have found time to do likewise for them. So we want you to think about that this Thursday. And all of that is because it speaks to the mindset that we want to have for the week. And that mindset is divine, discern divine appointments. And divine appointments are meetings arranged by God between two people where each finds support just when needed. So God will navigate our circumstances so we will be in the right place at the right time to interact with one or more people in a divine appointment. The thing is that we must discern in our spirit when we are in a divine appointment and engage. Otherwise, it will be a lost opportunity. So I think some of you may have heard of divine appointments. It's not an uncommon phrase that's used amongst Christians. And just as it said, it's when God has orchestrated the circumstances of our lives and the lives of others and has navigated it such that we would be at a certain place at a certain time with certain things on our hearts and minds. And each person will say or do something that ministers to the other just as they needed to hear that. So you can think back on times when this has happened, not just on your cancer journey, but in life in general. When you were thinking about something and someone comes up to you and says something that's a confirmation of a decision that you had to make, or you were wondering about something and someone spoke to you as if they already knew what was going on with you. Well, the same thing happens during a cancer journey. As you're going through this road of trials, you're going to be thinking certain thoughts, you're going to be having certain questions, and someone will come and say something that will either confirm it in your spirit. But you have to recognize that that's what's happening, that you are in a divine appointment. And likewise, you want to also be able to minister to the other person. So you shouldn't just be sharing your issues. You should be listening to what other people are saying about their lives. And so that's also brings up a little bit of a side point. And that is when you're going through your cancer journey and someone comes to visit you, you shouldn't just talk all about you. I mean, if that's what you need to do for that particular visit, that's okay. But remember that this is not all just about you. And they may have something on their hearts that is burdening them. And you just want to, as you engage in conversation as best you can, you want to have a little bit of active listening going on. And if you hear something that you can speak into their lives, or if you have just something that's on your heart that you want to say to that particular person, and they happen to come to visit you that day, or talk to them on the phone, or even text, which is the lowest level of a form of that type of communication, you want to be able to speak into their lives too. So those times are what we call divine appointments. And as you go through your cancer journey, again, you want to be able to discern when those divine appointments occur. Because during those times, you are acting, or the other person is acting as God's agent and is speaking on his behalf so that we can be ministered to each other. So that leads us to our tip Tuesday, where we find a quote that is applicable to what we're talking about. And this Thursday, we are looking at the tip Tuesday quote, and that one is: an unexpected situation, any unexpected situation, can be a divine appointment. And any divine appointment not can, but will be a blessing. So the thing that you should be aware of and take away from that is, first of all, that um, the the situation is unexpected. This is not something that you're already cranked up and ready to go, and you have something special you want to say, or vice versa. These are unexpected things, and that's why you have to have a spirit of discernment. You have to recognize, oh, there's something more going on here than what we first came together to talk about or do, that God is moving in this situation. So you have to be able to discern these divine appointments. The other thing is that when it is a divine appointment, you can rest assured that it's going to be a blessing. It's going to be a blessing to both of you who are involved, or there may be even more people involved. It's typically one to one, but there have been situations where there are multiple people involved. But whoever is involved in that divine appointment, it's going to be a blessing. Again, only if you discern that that's what you're in, so that you can be prepared to open your heart and your mind and your spirit to hear what's being said to you. And then we have our Wisdom Wednesdays, where we find scripture that supports what we're talking about. And so this Wisdom Wednesday, we have the scripture that comes from Isaiah 25:1, where it says, "O Lord, you are my God. I will exalt you and praise your name. For in perfect faithfulness you have done marvelous things, things planned long ago." So the scripture there is saying that this is a marvelous thing. And when we think about God's faithfulness, that he has orchestrated the circumstances and he's made sure that we're in the right place at the right time. And so is the other person or persons. And he's planned that long ago. He planned that before we were diagnosed. He planned that before we even met that other person. He planned that when we were still being knitted in our mother's womb. So all these things that are happening in the spiritual realm, God has already been there and set these things up. So it's wonderful when we stop and think about it, how faithful he is, that he loves us so much that even as we're on this road of trials, where he knows there are going to be trials and tribulations and difficult things that you're going to have to go through, that he arranges divine appointments to help minister to you in those troubling times, that you can be a blessing to someone in those troubling times. And scripture also says we are blessed to be a blessing. So when we go through this road of trials and we have these divine appointments, it's sort of a way to replenish and nourish and restore and confirm that God is still with us no matter what's happening to us. So divine appointments are a wonderful thing when you're on a road of trials. So that brings us back to our Think About It Thursday question, which is, think about situations that have occurred during your cancer journey. Did someone speak words that ministered to you? And did you speak words that ministered to them? As you think about that, if you can remember times such as that, then I would suggest that you pray and thank God for those blessings that he's brought to you on your road of trials. And I would also say that you should be encouraged and you should have that mindset that we talked about on Monday, our Monday mindset, that you should have a mindset that these divine appointments will occur and they are intended to be a blessing. But we must discern in our spirit when we are in a divine appointment. And once we can discern that this is something that's bigger than the both of us or all of us here, this is a God thing, then we need to engage, meaning we must take action. And that action might be active listening. It may be speaking words that you may not understand why you're even saying what you're saying. Or even if you're saying them, you really don't know, even if you know what you're saying or what you intend to say, you have no idea as to the impact it's going to have on that other person, because those are just the words that they wanted to hear at a time such as this. So again, that's an important thing that you want to have a mindset of, and that's divine appointments as you are on your road of trials during your cancer journey. I'd also like to take this time to remind you that we're having our Hope Over Fear workshop on Saturday. So we're just a couple of days away, and it's still time. You have times to register for this. So it's on Saturday, this coming Saturday, December 16th, from 10 a.m. to noon Pacific. And it is free. So that's always a good thing. It's free. And you just have to register for it. And I will pop this up here, blocking my face out. But this is the, let me stop the banner going also so you can see the full code. So this is the QR code if you are interested in registering for this. Did I say free? Hope Over Fear workshop this coming Saturday, December 16th. Then you can just use this QR code and it'll take you to the registration page and you will be able to register and we'll look to see you there. So, again, hopefully you'll be able to attend, or if you can't attend, if you know someone who should attend, let them know and send them on to that our journey, our Hope Over Fear workshop. So with that, I'd like to wish you a good evening, and hopefully you can be mindful of those divine appointments that will come along your way during your cancer journey. So take care and God bless, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.